So many errors led up to this.
Hey! Stop the car! Stop! 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 Stop!
Welcome to another episode of Earning the Hate. How you going, people? Man, these cops just... Look, this is kind of a routine stop. I mean, this stop, I've done this exact stop hundreds of times, if not 1,000. No big deal. Druggies hanging out in the parking lot. They're doing drugs. They really don't know what's going on. They're not real dangerous. They're not bad like evil people. They're doing their drugs and they just want to get high, and it's not the end of the world. But nowadays, I mean, just not complying with authoritarian government orders, you get shot and killed. And they set this up just through poor tactics and poor planning.
So the reason you guys are being detained is because when we drove up, your head was down, and typically when they see that someone in the car, someone's probably overdosed, someone's doing drugs.
Really? So now it's probable cause if your head is down, looking at your phone, drop something, maybe cleaning your fingernail, maybe, wiping off some donut icing because you just had a donut and it's on your pants, your wipe. If you look down, that normally means you're overdosed. And that's probable cause to contact you. This entire stop, based on that, is fruits of the poisonous tree. They can't use anything. The problem with fruits of the poisonous tree is it only stops government from introducing evidence against you. It does not hold government accountable for all the negative shit that comes from their unlawful contact. That's the problem.
Run the nod, okay? And then it seems like you guys don't have a lawful purpose of being here.
It seems like you don't. How do you know? Did you ask? And why did you ask? Was there a complaint? Look, I get it. Cops drive around. We see cars. It's got dents, scratches, plates expired, tires aren't done. You got 3 guys in hoodies. They're all passed out. They all look like they're wigged out. It's suspicious. You're going to investigate. I get it.
So another reason you guys are being detained is because possibly loitering, trespass.
Possibly loitering or trespassing. Basically, we're just going to contact anybody we want because possibly maybe if and buts of coconuts, and then we'll end up shooting you because we have poor tactics and we do stupid shit.
Okay.
What did he
That's
say?
it.
Which is exactly what happens.
So another reason you guys are being detained.
What did he say you had?
Just like foils and stuff.
You have foils and stuff?
Foils, meaning he's either cooking or heating up meth, crank. It could be some people keep their dope in foil paper, some plastic bags. It's probably indicative of a crime of drugs or something. I get this. The problem I have with this, you have 2 officers. This guy's contact officer, this guy should be covered. And this guy tells him to get him out. So now you have 2 officers dealing with 2 different people, distracted, not knowing what the other one's doing, not helping each other, not watching, not letting one person be in charge. And that's what crooks love. That is a crook's dream for a chance to escape when the cops aren't paying attention and they're both doing something different. That's why the concept of contact and cover has been around in policing for I don't know how long.
You want to get him a ladder?
All right. Let me get him first. He's got paraphernalia on him. I got a straw over here.
Straw,
You cool stepping up?
dope, cooking, smoking.
Hands on your back, interlace your fingers. You're not under arrest or anything, okay?
If you're getting put in cuffs and they tell you you're not under arrest, it's just a word game. It's called a detention. It's lawful, but if you're going in cuffs, you're probably under arrest.
Okay. Can you drop that? Interlace your fingers. Stand up straight, dude. What are you doing?
I just thought he would look at his.
Okay.
You can tell this guy's out of it. He's under the influence. We'd say he's UI. He said he was smoking meth. He doesn't look like he's smoking meth. I think he's speedballing. He's taking downers and uppers because he's just too groggy. Usually depressants and opiates and your downers will give you this droopy, yo, man, they're very calm. They're easy to deal with. They're not a threat. That's not normally what meth users get, but he says he smoked meth.
Okay. You're not under arrest or anything. You understand that, right? Okay.
So this cop's being polite. He's being cool. I get it. I mean, he's probably talking to this guy about like I would, except I wouldn't I'll tell you what I wouldn't do when he's over.
There's just a bunch of you guys here, so I just want to make sure we do this safely, okay?
Safely. Public safety. It's for the children. National security.
Is it okay if I search you?
Yeah.
So now he gets permission to search him because he can't really search him. They really can't even detain him. All they did, the stop is based on a guy looking down.
Okay. Pace car. It's pretty feet.
So I do not like cops that use other people's vehicles and start kind of like taking over. This is the unaccountability of police and the lack of respect for the community and other people's property. If this car was this cop's car, he would not do what he's doing. Put him next to
This
the
is
car
the foil that
and
you,
start
or
putting
the
freaking drugs
paraphernalia
on
they
him.
were talking about?
Look at that.
Yeah.
What do you smoke out of that?
So now we're going to put drugs and shit on someone else's car. Next time he gets stopped and a dog hits on it, they'll be searching this guy's car. This is just wrong. It's inappropriate. Is it illegal? No. But it's a lack of respect for the people and other people's property. Like I said, if it was this cop's car, I guarantee you he wouldn't be doing this.
Honestly, everything.
Everything?
Yeah.
Like what?
So he's talking to him, trying to get, when he said you're not under arrest, he thinks because he's not under arrest, he can question him getting incriminating statements. This will be suppressed when he goes in for a discovery or suppression hearing because the guy was in handcuffs and the person did not have a free movement to leave, which means he was in custody. And any reasonable person, including this guy on drugs, would believe that he's in custody, he's handcuffed, he's being held by you, he's being searched by you, he's in custody. And if somebody's in custody and you have interrogation and you ask them incriminating questions, any answer they give will not be admissible. Okay? So this cop think he's being cool and he's tricking this guy and, hey man, what do you smoke? Let me get you to admit that it was marijuana. He can't use it. Now, he can use it to impeach him if he gets him on a stand, but that's another issue.
I'm assuming you use this with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so meth? What else?
It's all meth.
Do you have meth?
No.
They just
Alright.
got inmates. No parole, probation. I've said this 1,000 times. People get pissed off. Man, when do you ask me about parole, probation? You think I'm a criminal? No, I ask everybody because you're required to tell me. And when you don't tell me, and then I ask you and you don't tell me, it makes the violation a little bit easier to prove. So just about everybody that I thought was a criminal, I asked, are you on parole, probation? And if you weren't a criminal and you weren't doing it, relax. No, I'm not. Or I don't answer questions. I don't care.
Were you guys all smoking together?
No, we're not even getting high.
No.
I don't even know what to say.
Were you guys all smoking together?
No, we're not even getting high.
No.
So he's not manhandling the guy. He's not treating him like a piece of shit. He's not pushing him around. So I like that about the cop. But putting shit on someone else's car that's not involved is bullshit. He does some other bullshit. His coming.
Hey man, I can't. We'll deal with one thing at a time.
So I think the guy asked him to do something. If I admit, will you do this? And the cop goes, I can't make any promises. That's actually not true. A cop can make promises. We can give immunity. We're not supposed to. They don't want us to. It's usually probably against policy and the DA will get pissed off. But he could absolutely, this cop could go, hey, if you got something good and you tell me, yeah, I won't arrest you for this and you won't be charged. And then the DA can't charge him because he gave information based on a deal that the cop made, and the cop is part of the prosecution team. And therefore, if he makes a deal, the defense, the entire team, has to comply with that deal. So when cops tell you they can't make a deal, they can. They just don't want to.
Okay, we'll talk right now. But I can't promise you anything, okay? Fair?
And they're going to be some cop here telling me, man, that's not true. You're full of shit. You're giving out bad information. I'm not allowed. Well, that's because you're an idiot and you don't know the law. Okay?
You never put me in a car, right?
No. I'm just gonna put you over here. You cool with that?
Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out a place where I can put you guys.
How about not figure out a place behind a freaking car with a guy behind the wheel? How about that? Anybody think of that? How about you go set him by your car where you know nobody's driving? How about you bring him in front of the car on the curb or by this tree? Why do you put him by a freaking wheel behind a car that you got a guy sitting in a car? Has either of these cops, raise your hand if you think these cops have never seen an incident where a guy you're dealing with has started a car and tried to drive away. Maybe not to them, but in a video with their partner, responded to a call, on TV. Who thinks that these cops have never seen a car drive away? Here's a good idea. I'll just place you right behind the car. So if he drives away, you get run over and I get to shoot the cop, or I get to shoot the driver. Perfect.
And I just need to get into the car.
This guy's like Ken Lane. He's smarter than a cop, and he's under the influence of drugs.
I'm not, he knows me, I don't run or anything.
Officer Lopez, do you trust that he will stay here? Yeah. Okay. Can you just take a seat for now? And once I get everyone out, we'll make adjustments, okay?
21, start for 95 male at Hanninger.
In all my years, I have never put a suspect on the ground behind a car that was occupied with a suspect or even a friendly person. Never. This is just really ignorant.
Team Western Court. For male team checking door handle. Described as a male white, tall, and
You have anything illegal on you, ma'am?
Black pants.
No? Is it okay if I check? Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Can you stand up? You're not under arrest or anything, okay? Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh, I just banged your head. You'll be all right. Roll Betsy around. She'll be all right.
All right, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. All right, let's back up a little bit so I have some more room. Can you face the car?
Okay.
Right here. Straight your feet.
So we have this officer who is dealing with two different people. He's got one guy handcuffed on the ground. He's dragging her out and searching her. And we got this guy driving with a guy in the car. Nobody has gotten the driver out of the car. Nobody has taken the keys out of the car. No one has made sure that this guy can't. It's almost like if you were a conspiracy theorist that you would think cops intentionally set up people so they will drive away so they can shoot them. If you were a crazy conspiracy guy, it would almost be like you would think cops are doing this on purpose. Because can they really be that stupid? Man, that's a tough question.
So no drugs, no needles, no nothing like that, right? I just don't want to get poked. I'm not saying you have anything. I just want to make sure. Sometimes people don't want to get poked. I'm not saying you have anything. I just want to make.
Oh, I did! Look! The police officer has a tattoo. Isn't that nice? It's amazing how I picked that up. It's like I'm a tattoo spot artist. Look, it's a pretty tattoo.
Sure. Sometimes people have surprised me, and they surprise themselves because they don't even remember. What's your name, ma'am? What brings you out here to the beautiful city of Costa Mesa?
So this must be Costa Mesa, California. So if they're in California, I absolutely know, because I used to teach at the academy, that contact and cover is taught in practice, and you don't separate your duties and start becoming contact. Contact and cover is you one officer contacts, the other one doesn't do anything but cover. And he watches everything from a observation point so he can react to any officer safety issue. And these guys violated it from the jump street.
I just ended up here. We got stranded. We got left here, and
Okay.
I never left, so
When did you get stranded?
a couple weeks ago.
This entire stop, no one has gotten the driver out of the car, taken the keys, nothing. He's gotten the two passengers out. He put a passenger behind the rear wheel of the car, but the driver still remains in the car with the keys and the ignition. It's almost like they planned it.
What? How?
Someone religious.
If I was a defense attorney, I would be asking every cop on calls like this, isn't it true? Or was there any discussion ever in your training or among other officers that leave the keys in the car, and that way if they leave, you can shoot them? Was there ever any discussion of that? Because I'm telling you, there was discussions of that when I was working. So it's not like this hasn't been discussed. But the fact that they're doing it and carrying it out is just stupid. I mean, we used to talk about, a guy being a jerk, throw him your baton. When he catches it, then you can shoot him and say he was armed. It was a joke. We didn't do it, but that's how cops talk. So I guarantee you there's been talk about, hey man, don't make them remove the keys, because if you leave the keys in the car, then when they start them to leave, then you're justified to use more force. You can claim in fear of your life or fear of someone else's life. I want you to watch when this guy pulls his gun and shoots his driver. It's almost like, yeah, I'll just pull my gun, put a couple bullets in this guy, take this guy's life. Forever. No big deal.
Kind of left us behind.
Yeah.
586 69 West 17.
So when this guy hears the car start up, he does, for a second, try to help the pesky citizen that he detained, that's in his custody, that he placed in a dangerous situation and now is about to get run over. He did try to help a little bit. Maybe.
Hey! Stop the car! Stop!
This dude's rolling around doing some pretty good wiggling, dodging that car.
44-802, shot fired.
Lots of shots fired. Oh, he's got tattoos on both hands. Rick. Oh, maybe that's just a watch. Maybe he doesn't have tattoos on both hands. Anyway.
Hey, get out, go, get out.
Get out.
Keep your hand on the steering wheel, David. You're trying my patience, dude.
Trying my patience. You left him in a car with the keys in there while your partner's pulling out two different people for how many minutes? Almost 5 minutes in a traffic stop, and you still have a guy in a car. And you haven't done anything to prevent him from leaving or to prevent this situation. Like I said, if you didn't know better, you'd almost think it was planned.
34563 for 586 and 689 West 17.
Hey, no! Stop!
He draws his gun point blank, fires multiple times.
44-802 Alpha, shots fired.
Yeah, let me shoot him some more.
Stop the car!
Different view. This is where you see the guy draw his gun. So here's the reach I was talking about. So I want you to watch as he pulls out this brave effort of this fearless police officer to save the pesky citizen that he handcuffed and put behind the wheel. Watch this attempt to save him. And there it is. There's the reach. I tried to save him. Never mind. He'll be all right. I'll just get my gun out and shoot him now. He'll be all right. Did y'all see that? It's kind of quick. I don't want somebody to say you're being mean to the cops, man. He tried to save him. See that save right there? He tried. Right here. Ooh, let me help you. Ah, shit. So I want you to watch this guy. How nonchalant he draws his gun, doesn't run, isn't in fear of his life. And they're going to say they were in fear of the other people's lives. But whatever. I mean, this guy just draws his gun so nonchalantly and just starts putting rounds in him. Like, it's a normal practice. Shot him a few times. Let me get on the radio. This guy's still pumping rounds in him.
44-802, shot fired.
44-802 Alpha, shots fired.
Go.
I want you to notice that this officer never tried to get out of the way of the car. He stood in front of the car so he could shoot more. Rick, that's not fair. He backs away now. Car's moving away from him and him. Could have ran over the guy. Could have danger. Look, legally, this shooting is justified. It's going to be justified all day. You know, same old bullshit. Officer safety, public safety. The guy was a danger. He shouldn't have left. He's driving a car. He could kill somebody. Every day. No problem. This will be justified. But this just shouldn't have happened. It's
44-802, shot fired.
44-802 Alpha, shots fired.
Get out.
So now this car, not only will it be searched last time because they're putting drugs on it, now it's getting rammed and tore up by this car. Bullet holes. I want you to watch the guy that was on the ground. He ends up over here.
44-802, shot fired.
44-802 Alpha, shots fired.
He's running this way, that way. He don't know where to run.
Get out.
So now this car's going to run him over. This guy's like a car magnet. No matter where he goes, the car's going to run him over. Rick, why are you laughing? Sometimes this shit's just funny. Anyway, earning the hate. We'll end that there.